Hello, my name is Ian Kirkpatrick, a professor at Leeds University Business School. I'm here to talk about my recent paper in the International Journal of Clinical Practice, which looks at the development of medical management roles, a framework for comparison. Well, as the title suggests, this paper is looking at how you can compare changes in the role of doctors in management across different health systems, because we know that there are big differences in the extent to which this has happened. So really what we try to do in this paper is set out a framework for understanding that. So we start by talking about the development of medical management roles in the hospital system. So what we're looking at there are changes in the way doctors have become involved in the senior management levels of hospitals, in the governance of hospitals at the senior level, but also changes in the sort of middle tier, if you like, the development of clinical directorates. So what we do in the paper is suggest three variables that explain that change. One is the governance of the hospital sector and how far there is competition in hospitals, how far hospitals are exposed to competition and variable resources. And we say that the more competition there is in the hospital sector, the more pressure that puts on doctors to get involved in medical management roles. Secondly, we look at the role professionals play. How independent historically have professionals, of doctors, been from the organisations in which they work? Have they been self-employed, for example? We suggest that the more independent professionals have been in the system, the more likely they are to resist, the less incentives they have had to get involved in management. And lastly, we look at the timing, the nature and timing of those reforms. So a lot depends, we argue, on the timing in terms of when the reforms started, in some countries earlier than in others, and also on the way in which the reforms have been introduced. So essentially we think those three variables explain a lot about the changes in medical management roles across different European health systems. But obviously this is an issue that needs investigating further. We only provide a theoretical framework, but we hope it's one that people will find useful and interesting.